Welcome to Graphing Linear Equations Part 2. Let me tell you, it's our last tutorial of the entire semester. I know, jump up and down out of your seat. Yeah! But don't worry about all the things we're going to work on. It's all graphing lines. We're going to write equations. They're all connected. So I just wanted to give you a list. Hey, look what we're going to be doing today. Ta-da! Okay, before we begin, we've got to talk about slope-intercept form of an equation. It is my all-time favorite way to write a linear equation because it's so useful. It gives you information. Slope-intercept form is written as y equals mx plus b. What that means is the m is where we have the slope. It represents the slope value. And in the last tutorial, we talked about slope. That was in your last unit. And slope is how steep the line is. Is it going up or down from left to right? Is it really steep or is it kind of a nice stroll? The b is where we put the y-intercept. It's where the line crosses the y-axis. Interception! That's right. So anytime the line crosses the y-axis, it's an interception. And it always happens. So, you can always tell by reading this equation where the line crosses the y-axis by this number here, and if it's a positive or negative slope, because if the m is positive, or whatever numbers here is positive, we know the line goes up. If it's negative, we know the line goes down. So for example, if I have y equals negative 3x plus 8, I know the line crosses at 0, 8. Why? Because that's where the b is at, and it's a positive 8. So in that location, what we call as a constant, which means it's a number not next to a variable, that's going to be my y-intercept. The slope is going to be negative 3. Why? Because that's the number next to x. It's called the coefficient of x. And this means it goes down from left to right because that's a negative. And that's what we learned about slope last time, is if the slope is negative, your line's going down from left to right, just like you're reading a book. So we're just going to practice. We're going to make it easy. I just want to make sure you can read an equation. It's important. So when I give you these 4 equations here, I want you to determine what's the slope, what's the y-intercept, and what direction does it go, meaning up or down. So here we have y equals 3x plus 4. So your slope, ta-da, right there, coefficient of x is 3. Y-intercept is 0, 4. Because it's positive, it's at the location of 0, 4, and the line goes up from left to right. Why? Because your slope is positive. Ta-da! Okay, let's do it again. See, this wasn't too bad. We got this covered here. Y equals 1/2 x minus 9. What's our slope? That's right, it's the coefficient of x 1/2. Everybody was jumping out of their seat for this one. Where does it cross the y-axis? Be careful. Watch this right here. Hopefully you're saying 0, negative 9. So that sign goes with the number. So this is going to cross below the x-axis at 0, negative 9. And our line still goes up from left to right. Why? Because your slope is positive. Has nothing to do with where it crosses the y-axis. It always has to do with the slope. Number 3, y equals negative 4/5 x plus 7. What's your slope? Negative 4/5. Y-intercept is 0, 7, and it's going down. Why is it going down? Because the slope is negative. It's going down 4, right 5, down 4, right 5. And our last one, number 4, y equals negative 2x minus 4. Your slope is negative 2. Your y-intercept is 0, negative 4, and it's also going down because your slope is negative. Okay, so you can read the equations, not bad. But can you write an equation? Ha 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 ha. So I want you to be able to write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form from the following information. And again, slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So every one of your equations will have a y, an equal sign, a number for the slope, the letter x, and a value for your y-intercept. So let's do it. Number 1, y equals, the slope is 2 and the y-intercept is 0, 5. So I'm going to start by writing y equals, what goes here for m? 2. Keep your x, and then plus what? 5. That's it. Because we don't write an ordered pair in an equation, we know that plus 5 means 0, 5. Because notice all the y-intercepts start with 0 because they're on the y-axis. Okay, next one. Our slope is negative 6, so that's going to go right here next to x. So you start writing y equals negative 6x, and then what? Take away 9, because our y-intercept is down at 0, negative 9. Let's do it again. Number 3. You just start writing number 3. Y equals, what's our slope? 1/2. So 1/2 x, take away 1. Ding, 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 ding. We're doing great. Man, we are kicking booty here on this one. Last one, number 4. It's okay that they're fractions because we still are going to write number 4. Y equals, let's put our slope in, negative 7/5, then an x, plus 2/3. Why? Because the 2/3 was positive. So not only can you read equations in slope-intercept form, you can write them. If someone gave you the slope, the y-intercept, you're set. So why do we need to know this? Because we're going to graph them. And in order to graph a line in slope-intercept form, you needed to be able to read the equation. So here we go. Don't worry, this is called speed graphing. In my world, this is the fastest way to graph. Because when you read it, we've got y equals 2/5 x plus 2. When you read this, all the information of how to graph the line is contained right here. I'll show you how. You don't even have to make a t-chart. Step 1. Determine the slope and the y-intercept. Now you're good at this. You know your slope is 2/5 and your y-intercept is 0, 2. And by the way, is the line going to go up from left to right once we graph it? It's positive, so we're going up. Very good. Step 2. Plot the y-intercept on the graph. Okay, well here's the y-intercept at 0, 2. So I start at my origin and I go over 0, because x's go first, and up 2. Put a dot. Yeah, have your graph paper out. If you need to pause right now and go get your graph paper, please do so. Step 3. From that spot, meaning the y-intercept, count out the slope and place the next dot. Well, our slope is 2/5. This is rise over run. This is up and then right. So from this dot, how many spaces am I going to go up? It's 2/5. So I go up 2, right 5. So from the y-intercept, I count up 2, and then I count right 5 and put a dot. I went up 2, right 5, put a dot. Step 4, use a ruler and connect the dots. And I like to use a ruler to connect my dots because I like a nice great big line. Don't give me no baby lines. Don't just go connect, connect, and put a little arrow on it. This line goes on forever. Make a grown-up line. No little baby lines. Make a grown-up line because this point is on the line, this point's on the line, this point's on the line. We could have all these ordered pairs on that line. So let's make sure it covers the graph. Make it a grown-up line. Okay. That's how we do it. So if you know the slope, up to right 5, you graph the y-intercept, up to right 5, put a dot. I like it. Let's try it again, just together. Y equals negative 3x plus 1. Step 1, what's the slope and the y-intercept? All right, I know you're acing this. The slope is negative 3, y-intercept is 0, 1. Is our line going to go up or down? Down. So when we're done, make sure the line's going down from left to right. Step 2, plot the y-intercept on the graph. 0, 1. So I start at the origin, I go over 0 and up 1. Okay. Step 3, from that spot, count out the slope and place the next dot. Now, the last one, the slope was a fraction, 2/5, up to right 5. Well, this one is negative 3, so that means I go down 3, but how many do I go to the right? What's the denominator? Well, the denominator of any whole number, or any integer I should say, is 1. So that means from this dot I need to go down 3, and don't put your dot there, otherwise you have a vertical line, and a vertical line has a slope that's undefined, and we have a slope, it's negative 3. We go down 3, and the denominator of negative 3 is 1. So you go right 1. That's where you put the dot. So if you have a whole number or an integer, you need to make sure you have your denominator of 1. So in this case it was negative 3, so that's down 3, right 1. Down 3, right 1. And now, step 4, make yourself a nice big line. So this is a very steep line. If you were going skiing, you'd be going very fast down this line. And good, it went down from left to right. Man, you are a speed demon on this one. I wouldn't be going with you. No, that's too steep for me. I would like the bunny hill, please. All right. Now I want you to do this on your own. So I'm going to show you what the equation is. Here you go. Y equals negative 3/4 x plus 6. I want you to pause the video. I want you to practice on your own. It doesn't do you any good if I tell you how to do everything. Come on. So come back in a couple minutes. I'll be here waiting for you. La 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 la. Okay. I'm assuming you graphed the line and you're ready to check it. So what was step 1? Let's write down our slope and our y-intercept. Slope was negative 3/4. Y-intercept is 0, 6. Was it going to go up or down? Of course it has to go down. All right. Step 2. Plot the y-intercept. Did you plot 0, 6? Right there on your graph. Step 3, we're going to count out the slope and place the next dot. So that's down 3 because it's negative, right 4. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to write 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and put my dot. down 3, right 4, and the last step is use a ruler and make a grown-up line and connect your dots. And you did it. Hopefully you're going, yeah, I did do it, woohoo! And now, you don't draw in these dotted red lines. This is just so you know what I was doing when I was counting. When I do this on my own, I actually do put in the dot 0, 6, and then with my pencil, I'm just going 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, dot. That's when my pencil actually makes the mark is there. And you could do it again, down 1, 2, 3, and right 1, 2, 3, 4, dot. So that's just to help count it out. Well, life is pretty good when your line's in slope-intercept form. That's why I call it speed graphing. No t-chart, no substitution. By the way, I can even tell you an ordered pair on this line right here. 0, 6. Oh look, here's another one. Over 4, up 3, so 4, 3. I can get ordered pairs when I do this. I don't have to make a t-chart and do math. I like slope-intercept form. Man, if there was an equation format I would want forever, it would be this one. But sometimes they're going to give us things not in slope-intercept form, and so what do? 3x plus 2y equals 10. Doesn't look too intimidating. Hey, they didn't give us any fractions or decimals. There is more than one way to graph this, but quite honestly, I just want to change it to slope-intercept form to get y alone. So it's like those literal equations we did a while back in February or a couple months ago. We want to get y alone. So how do I get y alone? Well, I would divide by 2, but first I have to get rid of my 3x. So it's a positive 3x, and so the opposite of a positive 3x is to subtract the 3x. And I'm going to put it in front of the 10 because slope-intercept form is y equals mx, so I want my mx to come before my b. Now y still isn't alone, there's a 2 there. It's 2 times y, and the opposite of multiplying by 2 is we're going to divide this term by 2, and this term by 2, and the last term by 2. And so I have y equals negative 3 halves x plus 5. Now it's in slope-intercept form. We can start graphing. So although step 1 was to write it into slope-intercept form, step 2 is the old step 1. What's the slope? Negative 3 halves. What's your y-intercept? 0, 5, interception. Is the line going to go up or down? Down. Well, let's do it. Plot your y-intercept. So start at the origin. We're going to go over 0, up 5, place your dot. We know step 4 is from that spot, from 0, 5, we're going to count out the slope. And it's negative, so that means down 3, and always go to the right, 2. So down 3. 1, 2, 3, and then to the right, 1, 2. So I'm pretty sure the dot better go right there at 2, 2. Down 3, right 2, there's my dot. And step 5, use a ruler and make yourself a nice grown-up line. It's beautiful. Did it go down? Yes, it's going down. I don't know, that doesn't look like a black diamond if you're going skiing, but yep, that's still too steep for me. So nope, I'm not skiing that one. Nope, I'm a chicken. All right. So the only new thing on this slide was if you have an equation not in slope-intercept form, I just recommend putting it in slope-intercept form. To me, I'm consistent. I just like to do the same thing. If I don't have to get all fancy schmancy, I don't. So I want you to do it on your own. I know, only practiced once with me. So here's your equation. X minus 2y equals 8. So go ahead and pause the video, have your graph paper ready. When you come back, let's check to see how you did. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Okay, so how'd you do? Got it in slope-intercept form, so you had to subtract your x. So we have negative x, so that's like a negative 1, because we don't write the 1 next to the x. And then did you divide everybody by negative 2? And don't worry, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. But this positive 8 divided by negative 2 is negative 4. So if you were able to write this, oh my goodness, you were off to an awesome start because I know you can do the rest. Why? Because you can read the equation. What's your slope? 1/2. What's your y-intercept? 0, negative 4. Is the line going to go up or down? It's going to go up when you're done. Okay, so let's plot it. Plot your y-intercept. So I'm at 0, 0. So I go over 0, down 4. There's our 0, negative 4. Now we just need to plot the slope. So let's count it out. The numerator is always your up, down. And since it's positive, we're going up. And the denominator is always to the right, to the right. That's right. So we're going to start right here at 0, negative 4. And we go up 1 and then right 2. 1, 2. So it looks like we're at 2, negative 3. So we go up 1, right 2, and yep, there's our dot. See, we can even find our ordered pairs as we go. There's 1, 0, -4. There's another, 2, -3. And of course, we got to connect the dots. We got to have a line here. Yeah, that looks like a good workout. I would hike up that line. Yep, that's my kind of line. So you did it. All right. See, it's awesome. Well, sometimes in life there are horizontal and vertical lines. And remember, your horizontal lines have a slope of 0 because they're nice and flat. Nothing's going to happen to you if you walk along a horizontal line with a slope of 0. But a vertical line, if you tried walking up a vertical line or down one, you'd become undefined, is how I like to say it, because you just fall on your head. You go like, ah, I'm falling. But here's how we graph it. The equation of a horizontal line is always y equals something. And I didn't know how to write the something here, so we just put a blank. I know it's counterintuitive because you're like, but y's don't go across. But trust me, if you see an equation that's just y equals some number, it's a horizontal line. This means all the y values are the same no matter what the x values are. We don't have any x's in this equation because it doesn't matter. The y will always be whatever number is written here. This is what I mean. So if I were to graph the equation y equals -6, so if you saw that in your homework, graph the following lines giving 1 point and the slope. Well, all the y's are going to be -6, so it doesn't matter what x is, so just make up an x. Well, if x is 1, what does y have to be? -6. Okay, well there's your ordered pair, 1, -6. I could put that in here. Over 1, down 6. All right, we'll make up another one. Let's see, what other number do you like? Now don't get all crazy on me, say x is 100, because your graph doesn't go up there. So pick an easier number. What if x is 3? Okay, what does y have to be? -6. All right, well that'd be 3, -6, so over 3, down to 6. Okay, well there's 2. See how it's coming together? Let's just do one more for fun. What if x is -4? Oh, I'm throwing it out there. What does y have to be? Y has to be -6. So -4, -6. So I'm going to go from the origin, back 4, down 6. Oh, well, I guess I got to move that one over. Pretend like that's over there. And there you go. You've got yourself a horizontal line. Connect the dots. So if this said y equals 2, I would just draw a line straight across as long as it went through the y-intercept, interception, at 0, 2. So vertical lines. A vertical line is when x equals something. So x equals 5, x equals 20, x equals 1,000,000. But that's what you're going to see a vertical line is. And remember, vertical line is undefined. There's no slope. I guess no slope isn't. It's an undefined slope. To make sure we're clear on our message here. This means all the x values are the same, no matter what the y is. All right. So in this case, I'm just going to pick out whatever y I want, because the x is going to be the same. And in this case, I'm going to graph the equation x equals 4. That means all my x's have to be 4, no matter what y is. So if I decide y is -1, x has to be 4. 4, -1. So over 4, down 1. Okay. Pick another value for y. Well, let's see. I like the number 5. So if I say y is 5, what does x have to be? 4. So 4, 5. Over 4, up 5. Okay, well there you go. I don't know, might as well make 3 times the charm. If if y equals 0, ooh, x has to be 4 still. So 4, 0. So go over 4, up 0. And you notice that all the x's onto -infinity and positive infinity would have to be that 4. And so that's a horizontal and vertical line. So when you see that in your assignment, I don't want you to get thrown off by, that's not slope-intercept form. It's y equals -6. And you go, wait, all the y's are -6. Where are the y's -6? Or all the x's are 4. That means this 4, that all the x's are 4. You just draw them, all the x's in there. All right, we're on the home stretch now. So these are going to be the steps to write an equation in slope-intercept form when given the slope and 1 point on the line. So I'm going to give you the slope and a random ordered pair. I know, wouldn't it be just better if I just gave you the y-intercept? Life would be so good. But no, we're going to have to work for it. So here's a sample question, I guess you could see, or you could have. Write the equation of a line that passes through the point 6, -3 and has a slope of -2. Okay, so it's going down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1. See, we could graph that. We'd be all excited. So how do we write the equation, though? Well, you need to start with y equals mx plus b. And I mean that. So if this was my work area, I'm going to write y equals mx plus b. The next thing I'm going to do is plug in the value of the slope in the m spot. What's my value for m? Negative 2. So I'm going to write y equals negative 2x plus b. Okay, well, I still don't have a complete equation because I don't know what the y-intercept is. Step 3. Substitute the x value and the y value of the given point. The x value, the y value, this is the given point, and we're going to put it into the x and y locations of the equation. So the x value of the given point is 6, so I'm going to plug it in here. The y value of the given point is negative 3, so it goes in for y. So I've substituted in. All right, that's an important step. They gave me an ordered pair, so I'm going to use x and y as my ordered pair. They gave it to me, x comma y. There's my x, there's my y. Now I have one variable, and step 4 is you're going to solve for b. Okay, I need to get b alone, so I need to get rid of this. So I probably should do negative 2 times 6, so I get my negative 12. I still need to get b alone, and this is a negative 12. So the opposite of a negative 12 is to add 12, and negative 3 plus 12 is 9. So what does that mean? That means b is 9. Well, what's b? That's the y-intercept. That's where the line's going to cross the y-axis. So we can write the final equation. The final equation is going to look like this. Y equals mx plus b. But what's the m? Negative 2. And what's the b? Positive 9. Now you have answered the problem. That is how you write an equation in slope-intercept form if they give you an ordered pair, that's not the y-intercept, and a slope. All right. Okay, I'm just going to let you do it on your own. If you need to go back to the last slide before you practice on your own, go right ahead. It's the exact same steps, except this time you have an ordered pair of 8, 3, slope of 4. All right, so I want you to pause. No peeking until you're done, and then come back. Okay, so you're back. That means you probably did it. So first thing I always do is I write my equation down. So this is my work area. This is my work box. Y equals mx plus b. I write it down because it reminds me of what I need in order to write an equation. I need a slope. I need a y-intercept. And hallelujah, they gave me the slope, so I better write it in my equation. 4, right there. So y equals 4x plus b. I still need a b. So let's find out. Step 3 is we need to put the x and the y value of the given point into the x and y locations of the equation. So my x is 8, so that goes here. My y is 3, and that goes here. I know you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I already did that. Seriously. Okay, let's get b alone. So we need to multiply. 4 times 8. 32! That's right. Still need to get b alone. It's a positive 32. How do I move it across the equal sign? I have to subtract. So I do 3 take away 32 is going to give me a nice big negative 29. So negative 29 is b. What does that mean? That means your y-intercept is way down at negative 29. Yeah, it's way down there. So the last thing is, did you write your equation? Did you write y equals mx plus b with the right numbers? Y equals 4x minus 29? Oh, you did. Oh yeah, you rock. You're doing it. Well done. Okay, I'm impressed. That's as hard as it's going to get for this entire course. You are at the home stretch. You're awesome. Way to go, way to go. Okay, good luck.